Hello everybody, this is Make It Better, and today we're doing What If Deku Had Nightmares Part 34. Sorry for the very long wait. I was more focused on work and my somewhat life, somewhat. And well, gardening, learning new skills, all of that fun stuff. Sarcastically fun stuff. But sorry for the long wait. Let's get into it, and I think this will be the last one, or the next video of it will be the last one for the series. So that's one of the reasons why I was pushing it back. Since it was so good and I was enjoying it so much, I didn't want it to end. I'm not crying, you are. Anyway, yeah, that's basically everything. So it's been a while, so I need. Forgot where I was at. Oh, I'm gonna skip it through where they're in the classroom. Alright? Thank you. Now, let's get it started. Shall we? Not sure it should be 18 or plus. You'll see on the title anyway. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Now, Zuko's in the classroom kind of, well, in his own head and focus on one particular small detail. But in the classroom, everybody's talking and, well, discussing on what they should do for their class for the summer festival. Some people are saying cafes, others saying like a dance tournament. Someone said strip, rock and paper and scissors, and we hear a smack. Ida was about to write it down on the chalkboard, but he immediately raised and said next, and then he pointed over to Zuko. He says, Zuko, no answer. Zuko, another no answer. Until Ida actually had to tap him on the shoulder, and Zuko said, huh? What? He looks up at Ida, and Ida asks him, what does he want in this class to do? And Zuko thinks about it and said, movie theater? And Ida said, alright, and he put it on the board. And it's one of many. Zuko's kind of looking around at everybody. Some are talking, not talking, smiling, and just enjoying themselves. And Zuko's just sitting there thinking. He got a tap on his shoulder. He looks over and sees it's Uraka. Now Zuko said, oh, hey Uraka. And Uraka asks him if he's okay. Since Zuko asked her, why? Wait. He asked her, I'm fine. Fine. And Uraka looks at him very closely, where they're almost kissing. And she actually whispered to him, is it about Eri? And Zuko, of course, closes his mouth, looks away, and nods yes. Uraka kneels down next to his desk and asks more questions. More about on what his thoughts was really about. Zuko whispered in a low tone where no one can hear but only Uraka. And he says, in the hospital it shows, she says that one line, that one thing, and I know her pain, but Uraka asked, what did she say? Zuko says, she tried to smile, and a tear goes down his one eye. I say his left, where Rock is on his left. And he says she forgot how to smile. Raka said, oh, I see. And you're trying to find a way to make her smile? Zuko said, yeah, but I don't know what will make a child go through such a thing to smile. Raka looked at him, and Zuko was looking forward almost blankly, and Raka kind of holds on to his hand. He looks down, see his hand being held, looks over, and Raka just says, "Remember, you have gone through the same thing. What made you smile?" And that got to him. Moving on to the next scene, they're in the dorms. They're still talking about everything, and Zuko's just right there in the background on the couch, just thinking. And what made him smile? What was his first time smiling? Until he hears someone, Bakugo, making a ruckus, saying that he can drum. He brought out his drum set and started drumming, which is really good. Zuko looks at them and asks Ida what's going on. Ida explains everything, that they have decided to do a concert for everybody, for apologies, and for Jiro to be the head singer. And Zuko said, "Oh, that's good. Wait, concert." And he starts to think about it. The first time he actually smiled was actually because of a song. It got to him in a certain way that he never thought someone else would be able to put into words. And that was the first time smiling, but he never smiled to anybody. He just didn't think about it. He just couldn't express the feeling of that song to a point where he started to sing along with it. So he thinks, yeah, this would be great. Now everybody's talking about, the classroom's talking about instruments, dance, graphic, and the background. I forgot what backstage information. Zuko volunteered himself to go in the backstage since his quirk will help him be silent and quiet, as well as blend in with the darkness. Everybody agrees that he will go with Kirishima, but he was also going to be doing some dance steps with Mina. And he's going over, after that whole day went down, he visits over to the hospital and asks Eri how was her day. She said it was fine. She was reading this book that was really good. And Zuko says, great, great. And then she starting to, Zuko give her a smile, and she's trying her best. And Zuko can see her trying to smile. But nothing. And Zuko said, it's okay. You don't have to force it. A great smile is always one that's natural. And Eri just looks at him and says, sorry. 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 And she's starting to tear up, have tears going down her face as she says sorry. And Zuko just grabbed onto her and hugged her tightly and just saying, it's okay, you don't need to say sorry. I understand. Remember, as he kind of chuckles, remember, I gave you my memories. Eri looks up to him and she says thank you. he was about to leave as Mirio came by and, well, interrupted this very moment. And Mirio asked her if she's excited about the festival. And she questions, "Festival? What's that?" And Mirio explained everything about it, as well as the food, candy apples, and as all the classrooms do something special for their classes. Like for his class, they're doing a cat cafe. And Zuko said, "Oh, right. Um, my class is doing a concert." And Eri asked what's a cat and cafe and what's a concert. Mirio explained about his, and Zuko explained about his, and Eri is kind of excited that she wants to see a concert. It sounds like fun. And Zuko said, "Yeah, yeah. I'll make sure you be out front row." And Eri asked, "Is that good?" And Zuko said, "Yes, it's very good." "All right, but we have to make sure that Aizawa allows this." As Aizawa finally comes by, and well, Mirio as well as Zuko trying to convince him, and Aizawa tells them that he needs to run this by to Principal Nezu for it be allowed. As well, she needs bodyguards as she gets there. The smaller details about all of this, and it's settled. After the next day, Aizawa goes over to Principal Nezu. Nezu agrees, but he needs to get more permission from everybody else, the higher ups. Now, it's really like there's nothing big gonna happen. There's nothing. I have not seen Sir Gentle's fight, mostly because it wasn't that grand. But I think it's going to be the most important fight of them all. So, with that said, I'm going to keep going. I just need to keep myself in track. Here we go. Now, Zuko sees Mirio. And, well, he's in his dorms. So he gets out and see Mirio holding Eri. Mirio, of course, trying to be funny and say like a butt joke, but everybody ignores him. And, well, more people comes out and shows that there's a little kid. And Zuko is just reaching out his hand, or a fist, and Eri fist bump him. And Zuko says, "Great. Alright." As he holds onto her hand, as she grips tighter around his. Zuko turns over and introduces her to his classroom, his classmates, most of them. Now he's going over to other classes and introduced her to everybody, as well as the lunch rush. She's enjoying the food, but of course she just doesn't know what any of this is. So Zuko's explaining this, and this moment Principal Nezu comes by and saying it's very tough to get all the permissions, as well as Eri to be here with a pro hero. Luckily, he pulls a lot of strings for this. So he leaves because of that. Eri had to leave too. Well, Aizawa is telling her that she needs to go back to the hospital for a bit longer. Eri, of course, is saddened about this, but Zuko tells her, "How about this? When you come back and the festival it starts, I'll buy you something sweet. You like apples?" And Eri said, "Yeah. They're so sweet and round and red." And Zuko said, "Yeah, just like your eyes." there's these things called candy apples. I'm not sure if you're going to like it, but let's try it together, okay? And Eri, of course, says, okay. You promise? And Zuko said, yes, I promise. He pulled out his hand with a pinky. Eri doesn't know what this is. And Zuko explained, this is a pinky promise. You pull out yours. He holds onto her, said, 1, 2, 3, pinky promise. And be forever like that. A little cute thing like this. And they went off their separate ways. Now, the very day, sorry, of the festival, Zuko was told that they need some new other parts, sparklies, and reflectors for the naval laser. Alright. Zuko, of course, volunteers and went out to shop to get all the supplies, as well as drinks since everybody wanted some. So he brings his backpack, as well as his phone, just to be sure. He texts to everybody else if they need drinks, and they put in their orders. Zuko's going over to the shop. He buys everything as well as the equipment that they need, to the point where he accidentally bumped into a man with a very impressive mustache. Zuko, of course, says sorry and needs to leave since he looks like it's starting to be late. Sargento, of course, ignored him and sees that he's one of the UA students, so he's decided to follow him all the way to the wall. And when Zuko jumped over it, Sargentos jumped over it, and by this point, he already passed through because of the special equipment that he made with La Brava. But Zuko looks back to make sure that no one follows him, and he sees someone passing by. And he sees that it's the same man that he bumped into. So he charge up one for all and bounce and fly up to Sargento, smacking him, getting up to his level and tell him that he's not allowed to go through here. You must go through the front gates. And Sargento deflected with a trampoline bubble. Hold on. Zuko bounced back, getting pushed back to the floor. And Zuko looks up and sees that Sargento is trying to get further into the school. By this point, he's getting a little pissed since, he accidentally showed the weak point of UA gates. So he had to get serious. So he just stretch, get his body armor on, and start jumping onto the trees and then have a full force into Sargento's back. Now Sargento, of course, falls, but Zuko's holding onto him with Black Whip to make sure he falls on his face. Now Sargento, after he got very close to the millimeters close, Sargento activated his quirk, making it bounce. Zuko did not expect this, so he fell off of Sargento as well, getting on the floor. Now there's a few fight going back and forth. Mostly Zuko hitting onto the trampoline most of the time, giving him trouble. And Zuko had to charge up higher and higher a percentage just to pass by or go faster. And when he finally had a chance, La Brava boosted Sargento's quirk to make him much more powerful, to a point where Zuko's first fist that actually broke it, there was a second layer, and that pushed back all of that force onto Zuko, which of course hurt. But he got right back. It actually disconnected his shoulder, so he popped it right back in, and La Brava just felt gross of hearing that. Zuko, of course, tried to do some other maneuvers of, well, doing a side kick onto La Brava, but when it was coming up, Sargento put a trampoline. Zuko used that momentum for once, and well, he was pushed back, of course, but he started to spin and hit La Brava on the other side with his kick. That time, Sargento was not fast enough, and he's starting to panic since at this point, he's starting to Zuko's fighting against him with his own bubbles, well, trampoline bubbles. Don't put down in the comments what he has. I'm not caring. It's trampoline. I know. That's it. Anyway, Zuko, of course, can't see the bubbles, but he can see where his hands are. So he's following this. And one is going to the floor, which Zuko sees strange, so he stops. And well, Sargento starts bouncing up higher and higher, trying to use his ultimate move. And well, Zuko does not see any good thing about this, so he follows with him, using the bubbles. And when they get up to a certain height, Zuko, well, of course, is telling him why is he here? Why is he trying to ruin this special day? And Sargento explains that he wants to make sure that no one has a great day, no one has a great chance, and well, he's just very bitter. Zuko does not understand this, so he wraps him up with Black Whip and just pull him down, but Sargento is holding him up, and he's standing on one of his trampolines. Zuko just is asking him why, and he's actually starting to yell at Sargento. You have such a great quirk. Why would you use this for being a villain? And Sargento explained about his backstory. And Zuko said, okay, if you do not know his backstory, basically everybody around him told him that he can't really use his quirk for this becoming a hero, since everybody wants to be a hero. One time, getting out of an office of trying to interview for many jobs, a guy took the easy way out, very easy way out, in jumping off of a building. Now, a hero was coming by, but Sargento thought it would be the best way to use his quirk, so he used his quirk, but he was too slow. Right when his quirk appeared, the guy already passed by. But another hero came by using his wings, and he was following the trail, the path of, well, the falling guy. And he hit the trampoline instead, pushing him back, and the guy fell, splat, gush. And he felt guilty. He was not caught, but his parents know what happened, and some of the policemen believe he did, but he is not in trouble since they have no proof. And that one accident made him go down in a spiral to becoming a villain. And Zuko hears this, saying, "Wait, you became a villain because of your mistake. You sure this not a start like something else?" Which, of course, Sargento is saying that this kid doesn't understand anything since he has such a great power and will never understand the true struggles. Zuko said, You're very close. Keep going. See what happens." And well, Sargento finally made his ultimate move, which I didn't see, so I have no idea, and forced a huge amount. I'm just gonna say that he made 2 trampolines on top of himself, and he's just jumping very quick on both of them, dispels one of them, and went straight down with Zuko behind, and the momentum of that speed, as well as height, as well as gravity, as well as weight, Izuku is going very fast. He's let go, but it's too late since it's gone very fast. And, well, Sargento stopped himself and bounced on his very thing, making it very soft to a point where he does not get injured, but for Izuku, he smacks down on the floor, which of course hurt a lot, making a huge crater, well, small crater, but still a crater, on the floor. He gets back up, coughing up some, well, spit as well as a little bit of blood. And he looks over to Sargento, which Sargento is surprised, as well as La Brava surprised that Izuku got up from this very insistent, very move, because that's very, extremely hard to, well, survive. And Izuku asks, sorry, did not know how that came out. Ask La Brava about hers. And since these two are very confident that Izuku won't be able to, well, fight back because of that, explain about hers. Now, hers is very kind of sad, but compared to everything else, not that much. Basically, her quirk is whoever she's in love with, she give a 2-time boost to their quirk. One time in her school, she was in love with this one kid, but this kid did not like her, so he just did it in a rude way, in a way that no one was supposed to be given, and a huge rejection in front of the whole school. She felt bad, embarrassed, and to a point where she didn't want to get back to school. If you think I'm downplaying this, you're right. I am. I'm not sensitive. I just don't like the fight. Now, Izuku said, okay. He finally gets back up. And, well, there's 2 droplets of black liquid on his 2 fingers. He holds them up as if he was going to flick it. Kind of do like a flick. But instead of 1 finger, it's 2 fingers. And he flicked it at both of them. La Brava and Sargento went through in the whole fight through Izuku's eyes to a point where they feel the pain and, well, of course, a few cracks and dislocations on a few areas, phantom pains, scars. And of course they're screaming in pain because it hurts a lot. La Brava finally passed out and Sargento is up and asks what is his power. Izuku explained what his power is, and he modified it to a point where whatever pain I gain, you gain. And Sargento asked, but how can you, with that such a quirk, how can you be such a great hero? And Izuku said, because my family, my friends, my love, all of them helped me in many ways. If it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for my father, I would have still be there. Izuku gave him a small droplet. This is just a image. That's it. Nothing else. No emotion, no backstory. An image of Izuku in the bed waiting for another instructions of multiple people with, well, everything of a weapon. And Izuku looks down and he sees all the scarring on his, well, wrist, arms, stomach, back. La Brava, well, Sargento looks at him and says, I am so sorry. Izuku said, don't worry about it. But he looks up Sargento, and Sargento asks what is he doing, and Zuko said, "Give me a second." And he sees that everything about Sargento and its petty crimes, nothing serious, no real kills, no real villainous action has gone have ever appeared. Just some trouble with the cops. Zuko said, "Okay," and with the memory and knowledge of a cop, tells Sargento, and he became proper Sargento. Sargento, of course, looks up to Zuko and with a curious look. Zuko said, "If you behave and you come with me as well as her, I'll make sure that you get a reputation in prison that you withstand my worst. If you take this, I'll have to talk with Principal Nezu in giving you a chance. I'm very pulling every single string that I can think of for I can give you a chance to become a true hero. But with this, you must make a deal with the cops under the name of Isashi. He will know what I mean by a second chance. If you agree to this, come with me." He used the ropes for La Brava and Sargento, and he takes them to Hound Dog. Hound Dog, of course, take these two, and tells Zuko to leave, but Zuko also tells him to take it to the police station of this town to this city and this address and ask for Isashi. And, well, Hound Dog, of course, said, "I will, but you still need to get back to your class. You're very late." Zuko bows to him, saying thank you, and went back to his, well, stuff. Now, over to moving into another scene. Everybody's dancing, enjoying, and Zuko's in the background. And he's just getting all the work done. And turns out they didn't need any rope, since Zuko's black whip makes sure that he's connected to laser beam a guy, naval laser, and have him hoist it up. Well, he kind of drew him up there, of a few whipped around, and then finding a flick up to the highest, having him spin in the momentum, and showing out a sparkly show. And Zuko, at this moment, he's at the very top, making sure that naval laser guy is spinning as well as glowing along the longest way from the front all the way to the back and then back. As he's doing this, he's looking for Eri, and he sees Muriel. And when he sees Muriel, he sees Eri on top of him. And it shows a huge smile, which of course gives Zuko relief. So he go through the rest of the audition or concert with no struggle. At the end, Zuko went out of his way and tried to find Eri. And when he finally found her, Eri is just as excited and it was talking about all these things, especially her. And Zuko just very grateful and hold out his fist. Eri, of course, hit it and said, "Great. Now, how long until you're with Muriel?" And Muriel said, "Yeah, about that, I need to get back to my class, so would you please watch her?" And Zuko said, "Of course." As Eri just come and reach out her arms, and Zuko, of course, grab her, and of course is now holding her with one arm. And he looks over to his friends and asks if it's okay if he could leave a bit to watch her, which most of them are grunting and saying you need to stay here and work, but most of the girls say go along and go and uh, have her enjoy the party or the festival. As someone pushed Araka off to Zuko, and Zuko said, "Oh, and hey Araka." And Eri looks over to Zuko and Araka, then Zuko and then Araka, and say, "Well, are you like Zuko's wife?" Which of course made her blush. And Zuko asked Eri, "What do you mean by wife? Where did you hear that?" And Eri explained that she saw this on a book, how two nice people that doesn't say anything are supposed to be married. Which Zuko, of course, said, "Let's explain that later, but first let's enjoy the festival," with holding down a blush. Zuko, of course, hold out his hand and ask if Raka liked to come along. Which, of course, she held his hand, and enjoyed the rest of the day. And turned out there was just enough candy apples for Raka, Zuko, and Eri. Zuko and Raka took the first bite and showed her how to eat it, as well as how to hold it. Eri now trying it, eyes sparkling with a huge smile. She says she loves it as well, that it's the best thing ever. Bestest ever, 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 bestest. Ever, ever, ever. And start eating some more. Zuko tells her to slow down, she might get a tummy ache, as well as Oraka just holding her up and making her float, as well to be a little bit higher and see the whole crowd. Now, the end of the day goes by. Eri is going back home, well, to the hospital, and Zuko is just giving her one last hug and telling her that she did great. You became very brave today. Eri, of course, lets go of the hug and asks Sir Aizawa if she could see Papa again. Zuko did not expect this. Oraka, of course, smile as well as blush and kind of looks away. And of course, Aizawa is just, well, smirking and kind of laughing about this. And he adds onto it, said, "Yes, you will see Papa again later, in another time." Eri leaves and saying, "Bye, Papa." And Zuko, of course, can't hold it back and kind of smiles by this and said, "Bye, Eri." And right when the door was about to close, Eri says another thing, which of course Zuko looks over to Raka, and she's kind of saying, she's just waving back. Zuko, of course, now is alone with Raka. Holds out his hand as Raka holds out to hers, holding hands. Now walking back to the dorms. As they're halfway there, Zuko speak up and saying, "So, I guess she chose you as the next mama?" With Uraka, of course, blushing. And Zuko, sorry, Uraka, and talks back and saying, "Well, now we know that she considers you as a papa. Not very. It's not a bad choice." Zuko said, "Yeah." And they're in front of the dorms. As they're about to open the door, Zuko says, "Yeah." And he opened the door for Uraka, for she to go through first. And Zuko said, "Yeah." as he entered through the door, he said, "I don't mind you to become the mama." She is barely heard that, but someone else heard that, which is very interesting since they both turn around and see them saying, "We support this greatly." Well, and we'll even have Koda become the flower girl, as well. Koda saying, "Stop!" And he's getting embarrassed. Now Mandalay, Pixie Bob, all the Pussycats are here to visit, and they, well, sadly for Zuko and Araka, they heard what he said, which is kind of funny, and some back and forth about what happened, how it going, to a point where Mandalay, Pixie Bob, Mandalay, I think brunette, tells Zuko that Koda is now copying him, as well as wearing the same shoes. Zuko looks down, sees the shoes, and saying, "And they look great." They leave, as well as Zuko saying bye to everybody, and he was getting back to his room. And well, yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for listening. Have a very nice day. And for the other series, I'm gonna start another one until the other series is over. After that, whatever is on, you have to guys watch it a lot. You have to re-watch it as often as possible on the playlist called "The First of Many," which the two videos that has the most view um, video is the ones that I'm gonna be doing the next series. So tell your friends, family, everybody, anybody to do it. And I think it goes all the way to in the middle of the videos for it to count as one watch. Not yet on likes, not yet, because it's not high enough. So yeah, that'll be it. And thank you for listening to this series. I really enjoy it, and have a nice day. Bye.